So they have crops, they have fruits, there is wheeling and dealing. So you can tax according to the level of the water in the Nile. If there is no flood, then people won't be able to grow anything, then you can't really tax them because they didn't really earn anything. If the flood is too high, then it's destructive. Then again, you can't really tax people. But actually, the level of water has to be determined because an inch more or less, you know, that can change the whole formula. So the learned priests, they needed to go down, and that's why there is a spiral staircase down there. This is an nilometer that's still working. This is the level of water in the Nile now, and it's connected to the Nile to a conduit. There's a conduit, there's an underground passage. So the water rises in the Nile, it's going to rise here. The water drops in the Nile, it's going to drop here. And probably we have flux. I didn't see flux here, but we have seen flux in some other nilometers made of marble on the wall with marks and numbers. So the priests, they can go down and then they take a leveled reading because the reading has to be accurate. And then they can determine that the revenue of this village should be that much in grain, the revenue of that village should be that much, God knows in what, and then they can tax people accordingly. Was taxing important in ancient Egypt? It was imperative, and punished those who evaded the tax. Bad. And it's not only punishment, but they're going to pay the tax in the next season, double. So they have to pay. Because through this, the Pharaoh would reside and rule. Without taxation, the Pharaoh cannot really rule. So taxation was essential and important, and of course taxation was in kind, not really in money. Ancient Egyptians, they didn't know money. So money was something introduced to the Egyptians in later times that came through the Greeks and the Romans. Although we think big of the ancient Egyptians that they did a lot, they knew a lot, that's true. But there are few things that the ancient Egyptians, you know, didn't come to on their own, but it's kind of knowledge that was introduced to them from other nations. Money is one of them. Steel is another. Chariots is a third. Philosophy is fourth, although my friends would argue with that, but I believe that their knowledge was accumulation of knowledge, not necessarily through observation and research and conclusion, but it was, if this thing works, then it's knowledge, then keep it. Why it works, how it works, that I don't necessarily believe that they knew that. That was, we had to wait for the Greeks to find out about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it will not be complete unless you go to the museum down there for the mummies. The mummies are down there in that museum. And it goes without